Bruce, just real quick, I didn't know how to address this, but one of the people, the respondents, is not, even though they.
Ian, can you hear and see us fine?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we'll begin starting in just a little bit.
Recording in progress.
Gonna be how the camera has to be, so I can't control anymore.
It's okay.
All right, are you ready to proceed?
The city's ready to proceed.
So we call to order today's hearing, code enforcement hearings. I see one person on Zoom and a couple of people here in person. Can we identify? Ma'am, what is your name? Yes, ma'am. The last name? Are you, do you have a case before us today? How about you, ma'am? Do you have a case? It's gonna be heard, okay. And sir, on Zoom, what is your name?
Ian Blaze.
Going here because you've received a notice of alleged code violation from the City of Mary Esther. It's my job to hear the testimony of both the city and whatever testimony or evidence you'd like to present and make a determination whether in fact there is a violation, and if there is a violation, what we're going to do about it. So if you're going to testify today, I need you to raise your right hand and
Yes, so if you are planning to speak today, please raise your right hand for the oath. Are you speaking, ma'am?
Yeah, you are.
Under the penalty of perjury, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
okay, let's start with the people that are here and then,
That sounds great.
okay. Go ahead.
Okay, you're here today, we're here today, Your Honor, because of, the city is found in violation, Original Properties LLC in care of,
Which one are we taking up first?
that would be case number, 000-087-2024, 101 West Miracle Strip Parkway. The city, conducted, an investigation on the property back in October, of 2024. There were several violations found on the property. The city would like to enter into the courts right now for the following exhibits, A through G.
Have those been provided to the respondent?
I believe so.
So there's several photographs, several pages of photographs, as well as correspondence.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
They were provided via email, by the way.
Okay.
So we issued Mr. Blaze a courtesy notice for the violations set before you. Litter, trash, debris was one of them, but he has cleaned that up. There was unpermitted construction. There were parking lot violations and ADA compliance violations. There were also sign violations on the property. There were signs erected there without a permit. There is also on the unpermitted construction, a deck that was built around the water's edge. Code has done some background on that deck that was built, and we asked the county if they would require a permit. The county is not requiring a permit for that, but the city is requiring a permit for that. There is a stage that was built up by the building, the main structure. That has been, they have submitted a contract from a contractor that they're under contract to get some of these things into compliance, such as the parking lot. They're going to remove the stage that's upstairs. There is a temporary structure that they did have removed. Right now, the only thing that the Originals Property LLC seems to be in violation of would be the unpermitted deck that goes around the water's edge. So he has removed the business tax receipt issue that he had as well. He has stopped all business activities.
So the parking lot is satisfied, the parking lot issue, as well as the sign violations, alleged sign violations. We're only talking about the unpermitted deck.
So the city is in consideration for Mr. Blaze to get the parking lot taken care of because Mr. Rominger, his contractor, has issued us a contract with him for the parking lot. So I don't know how we can basically work that into the notice that if he gets found guilty today, that we could give him a certain amount of time to get that parking lot shored up if need be, if he wants to continue conducting business across the street. But yes, the signs have been removed. The business tax receipt issue has been resolved. So right now we're looking at unpermitted construction and parking lot violations, but of which he's trying to rectify with that contract.
Mr. Blaze, do you have anything to say in any response?
Yeah, I do. So the short of it, it fell through the cracks. I only got email notices fairly recently, but I moved across country back in August. So I'm visiting occasionally to see the project development. I've been working towards a major development refinancing situation for quite some time now. And so as soon as I got notice, and I got notice because the title company that was the finish line for refinancing and approval reached out to the city for any liens, and the lien popped up for the floating structure that was there a couple of years ago. I complied with that. However, the lien was never raised, and so they were asking for a compliance letter, and they reached out directly to enforcement, and enforcement at that point said that it was in compliance. We did comply with that vote, if you will, for the floating structure. However, and at that point, they were notified of all these violations, which in turn stalled out my refinance for the last 2 weeks. And as soon as I found out this was an issue, I've been working for 2 weeks with Kelvin diligently trying to put it into compliance. The trailer was not mine. I towed it as soon as I realized somebody had camped it out right there. It was a boat trailer of some kind. The flag was a tenant. I told them to put an application involved. As soon as I realized they didn't have it, I ran them off. They're no longer there. As he mentioned, I did source a contractor. Rominger's been terrific working with the city and whatnot. It's been the purpose of the refinance was to do a major development and come into compliance with all these things, but it takes a process to get all this done, and I've been working towards it. The frustrating part was that for the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to comply, and the bank and the title company are on standby to find out whether these violations are in fact violations. And I struck them as soon as I received notice. And so here we are now. I'm hoping we can get a promising outcome of this meeting so that they can get a compliance and we can close this week and move forward with development and full compliance.
The testimony from Mr. Cherry indicated that he began reaching out in October 3rd, I believe, regarding that's October 3rd, 2024.
That's correct, Your Honor. I reached out to him about parking lot violations. I reached out to him about construction.
Well,
I actually sent him all the email correspondence show that I sent him the city codes, plus I sent him a way to figure out how to come into compliance with these actions.
Well,
So
let me ask you this, because we're now talking about the unpermitted deck and a parking lot that may or may not be resolved with a contractor. When did you put Mr. Blaze on notice that those two issues were outstanding and needed to be addressed?
back in October of 2024.
And has anything been done since October 2024?
Back and forth, there was some compliance made but never into full compliance, no. So he had a ice machine that was in the setbacks. He did comply with
Just
that.
talking about these two issues.
Yeah, so with those two issues, he has not come into compliance with those since
Got
October
that.
2024.
My question is, was there communication back and forth between you and Mr. Blaze regarding the unpermitted deck and the parking lot issue between October 2024 and today?
Yes.
Okay, describe that for me.
So back and forth through emails, back and forth through calls. Mr. Blaze and I and myself have been in correspondence about coming into compliance and what he needs to do to come into compliance for the city to get rid of those violations.
If I may, I've been sincerely, when we met about the deck, I was deferred to the county and there was no permit necessary because there was no elevation. But I did, since noticing that they wanted a permit, I submitted an application regarding what the extent of the deck is, and I've spoken with county and there's not much of a concern there. With regard to the parking lot, we have been communicating back and forth. I've been trying to do what I can personally. I haven't had any luck finding a contractor until Rominger that could significantly develop the parking lot, repave the whole thing, paint it, and bring it into ADA compliance. And one of the other solutions that he mentioned was stopping all business, and that would be fine for now. I'm trying to do whatever I can to get this done so that we can get this contract started.
What are you, Mr. Cherry, what are you asking me to do today?
The city would ask that you find Mr. Blaze in non-compliance for the unpermitted construction and give him a deadline for both either using the parking lot or calling it or not having any business over there until he does get the parking lot into compliance, and giving a certain amount of days, however you see fit, to get the deck construction permitted.
Mr. Blaze, how long do you need to get the parking lot completed?
Ultimately, I'm trying to get the bank to close on the loan and then Rominger's contract signed. He's already got people drawing. I asked him to prioritize the parking lot. And he's willing to do that. Besides that, I don't know what he can do and what the timeline is. But has a great working relationship with the city, and I've pretty much engaged him specifically to develop it and bring it to code and give everybody bring everybody to peace.
You're in agreement that the parking lot needs to be repaired or addressed.
So initially, when I bought it years ago, I put the ADA compliance on the back wall. It doesn't comply, so I took it down. He's been asking me to put one up front towards the building. The building is just a storage unit right now. I'm trying to renovate it, but because as I renovate it, the Rominger will do that and then also do the parking lot. I've run all the companies are just about off this parcel, and yeah, I get it. I want to do it right, but I can't do it until it closes, and Rominger is waiting on that too.
So I'm going to enter an order. I need to know how long you need. I want to give you plenty of time.
So he told me, and this is rough. He told me drawings for everything would be about 3 months, 2.5 months to 3 months, and then they would be submitting a development to the city. And then full completion would be done in 9 months from start to 6 months after they submit for permits. That's all I know right now.
Is there any
I'm sure.
business
I'm sorry.
Is there any business being operated on this property right now?
No, not on 130. My boats are there and they're not doing anything, and that's it.
Bruce, if I may, the city would just ask that we would be okay with a contract signed by Mr. Blaze and his contractor just submitted to us. However, we would ask that if we see any business activity whatsoever going on over there and the parking lot is not compliant within the time that before the contract's executed and completed, and before the renovations have been done and completed and the parking lot is complete, that Mr. Blaze would be found in immediate non-compliance. So no business activity whatsoever until the parking lot is compliant, as well as the deck is completed as well with the
And you have, is the application you have on file for the deck sufficient?
the application you submitted is sufficient. However, the drawings are not. So I'm going to look at those again, and we'll touch base with them. I believe the drawings will work. We just need to tweak them just a little bit and get you to print, sign, and date them.
So as I understand the parties, as long as there's no business activity on this property between now and when the contract is complete, which could be as many as 9 months from now,
Mhm.
everybody's good with that.
That's correct. The other issue is I want to define what business activity may mean. And so what I mean by that is we don't want to see food trucks rolling into the parking lot, gatherings, things of that nature, or any other business activity that would look like he's conducting, or any kind of commerce whatsoever happening on the property.
Is business activity defined in the code?
Let me take a look.
Because I can't sit here and anticipate every single.
Right. No, I understand that.
If we can get if Rominger can start with the parking lot, is that it, right? When I don't need full renovations, I can utilize the parking lot and conduct business this summer?
So as long as the parking lot is compliant, you can conduct business and you have a business tax receipt for whatever you're doing. Business activity, once I get it defined here, we'll go from there. But
So for the record, I did try to get a BTR back in the day, and it was determined because it was food trucks and everybody on property was renting that I didn't need one. They all needed one, but
I don't see where business is specifically defined. It just states business activity, performance of activity of commerce, but I don't see
Commercial,
that. Okay.
commercial activity.
Yeah. Hang on just 1 second. I'll look. You would think our code would spell out what commercial activity is. I'm not seeing where it specifically defines commercial activity.
Mr. Blaze, do you have anything further?
Yeah, I would ask that that it be sufficient if I sign the contract that we can conduct. If he does I don't want to, it's not my forte. I'm not the contractor, whatever his timeline is. I don't know if he wants to put it in front of before he drives heavy equipment on property, or at some point else in the project timeline. But I would ask that there be some leniency and let me conduct some business on that property this summer while this construction's happening, because it's a $320,000 contract to renovate it. And I am in fact, moving in that direction, the direction the city's asking. And I just wanted to ask that there's be a little bit of leniency for me to allow me to conduct business. And ultimately, once my contractor tells me whatever's happening is in the way, then I'll relocate it or stop.
Well, the evidence that I've heard indicates that the parking lot is not ADA compliant. How could I allow you to operate a business without a ADA compliant parking lot, while you try to fix that?
Well, I mean, it's just a parking lot. I mean, if I have him stripe it, I just, the expectation of the demands, I'll see if he can just stripe it first and foremost before he does a permanent paving and then redesign. But we did a parking plan back in the day, and that was sufficient for a little bit. It's not anymore because I marked the spot itself, and I thought that was enough, but I didn't drive a pole with a vertical sign. So I tried. Evidently, it was insufficient, but I would ask that there be a little bit of leniency, and I will ask the contractor to do what the bare minimum in the event it's out of the order of his process, the bare minimum to make the ADA, the parking lot ADA compliant, so that it doesn't interfere or there's no money wasted, repaving it, finishing it, and then driving heavy equipment all over it again to destroy it. I'll ask him to prioritize that, and that's the best I can do. He's working great with the city, so I'm sure he'll try and figure out if to, meet the demands that are necessary. I just would ask that there be a little bit of leniency on that versus,
Yeah, I'm not inclined to carve out an exception for you to the ADA to allow you to conduct business on an improperly constructed parking lot.
I didn't construct the parking lot.
Well, but it's on your property, right? I mean, it's your property,
Right.
and it's not a compliance. I just don't. I'm not gonna allow you to conduct business on the property without a compliant parking lot.
That's fine. I just asked that, yeah, by the definitions and the code, that I'll have Raminger prioritize it, and whatever, he'll meet the code, whatever it is, ultimately it'll be repaved, all flush and pretty, but right now it's incomplete, but I'm just gonna have him stripe it so that it meets the bare minimum of the code for now while he renovates it. Will that work?
As long as whatever activity you are conducting and the parking lot are congruent with the code, then I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But the parking lot and the business activity have to be congruent with each other in order for that to work. So you can't, do an activity over there and then the parking lot is not compliant with the business activity that you're conducting, commercial activity. So it has to meet code with each other.
Okay.
All right. So
And so for the waterfront businesses that operate on different parcels, how do you want to do that?
That'll be a separate issue
Okay.
when that happens. We're talking about 101 West Miracle Strip Parkway right now.
Roger. I'll have him prioritize it and meet whatever the minimum demands are, so that we can be compliant, and then he'll move forward from there.
So the orders, I'm going to find that there is a violation. The order is going to state that no business activity shall be conducted on this property until the ADA, the parking lot becomes ADA compliant, and the unpermitted deck is taken care of. Anything else?
No, sir.
No.
Are you asking for any fines or fees or costs associated with this claim?
No, sir.
And that's what the order will read. And it's, I'm not putting a deadline on how long you have to come into compliance. simply saying you can't conduct commercial activity, business on the property until you are. Is that understood?
Until, and compliance with the ADA. Roger, Roger. Understood.
Well, we included the unpermitted deck issue as well.
Yeah, and that's fine. He has an application on file. I'll do whatever he needs to make it compliance.
All right. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch with you later on, Ian.
Please. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right. Next case, Ms. Davis. What address is that?
It's actually, Bruce, we actually have it as, 1056 Bryn Mawr Boulevard, and it's for Lesco for the business tax receipt.
Did you provide me a packet on that or not?
All the business tax receipts were going to be quick. So I didn't require any of that because everybody's pretty much coming to compliance before the hearing. The city has found that Lesco Professional Chef Services LLC was in non-compliance for the business tax receipt for the 2025, 2026, and 2024 and 2025 business tax receipt. Ms. Davis promptly, after receiving the notice of hearing, has come into compliance, and so the city, she has paid the city the business tax receipt and has acquired it. So she is in full compliance at this time.
Are you asking me to do anything, Ms. Davis?
Yes, just find her in non-compliance for the business tax receipt so that this way the city can do a straight to a repeat violation just in case she does not obtain it next year.
Do you recognize that you were not in compliance with the business tax receipt requirements?
Ma'am, can I get you to come up and speak it into the mic?
Yes, sir. My mom had a couple of strokes this year, and they have been sending the information to the main address for where she had sent it. And so I just didn't get the information, and I have been taken over. And so once he found me and saw me that day, I came right away to be in compliance. And so I'm just making sure from here on to make sure there's nothing else. So I've changed the location. I believe I've changed the location to where the information is being sent so that I can stay in compliance with everything.
I'm going to enter an order just saying that you were at one point not in compliance.
Yes, sir.
That you are now.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm not going to order any fees or costs or penalties associated with that, okay?
Okay, yes,
There
sir.
will be a document on file that in the past,
In my past, yes, sir.
past you were non-compliance.
Okay, yes, sir. Would that affect me or I don't know.
Well, if you come in non-compliance again for the
Oh,
same reason, then
yeah.
that might be a problem. But
I got you, sir. Yes, sir.
as long as you keep up with the payments, then it won't be a problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank- do I sit back?
Oh, no, you can go. You're good.
What was the property?
It's 1056 Bryn Mawr Boulevard.
Okay.
And if it's okay with you, Bruce, I would like to just go with all the business tax receipts now. Just those are quick and
Well, the problem with going forward with any of them now is that
they're not here.
unless you can prove that they received proper notice, you can't proceed without them being here.
I see. Okay. So even the notices that were sent, if they weren't sent via if they weren't sent via
Yeah, there's a process.
Yeah.
To send the notices. Personal service.
right.
Registered mails, return receipt requested.
Okay.
There's a list.
So what I'll do is the rest of the cases that are on here for today, what I'll do is I'll put them on the February 20th, if that's all right with you, if that date is okay with you. We'll move all the rest of these cases to the February 20th, and we'll make sure that those notices are sent correctly.
I believe I'm available on February 20th.
Okay, that's the next hearing date. And we'll move all the cases that we have here currently to the next hearing date.
Okay, you just have to follow the statute on service.
Okay, will do.
Need help with how to do that, let me know.
Okay.
But it's right in the statute what you have to do. I just can't proceed with somebody not here if they haven't received that statutory notice.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, with that said, I think we're adjourned.
All right.